You're live.
All right. Welcome to Infinite Galaxies, Agents of Star Patrol, session number 1 of 4. This is a Gauntlets Hangout game that will be recorded for future enjoyment. With us, we have Rich Rogers, Jesse, and Dave, who is away from his chair at the moment, and Asher. There are our players. And I wanted to quick reminder of the Gauntlet Hangout safety and inclusivity policies available at gauntlet-rpg.com. We'll be using the X card if needed. It probably won't be, but it's there if you're familiar with it. We can talk about it if that comes up. Hopefully not. Shout out to the Gauntlet. You can look for the Gauntlet on Google Plus and at Gauntlet RPG on Twitter. Do want to quickly mention the Kickstarter for this game. Infinite Galaxies, you can do a search for that. Kickstarter will be ongoing during this game until the last third session, so February 8th. You can also check out the game at www.infiniteGalaxies.net and at infinite_galaxies, actually INF_galaxies on Twitter. Also, I'll post links to these things in the video commentary for folks. So I'm Rory McLeod. I'm the creator of the Infinite Galaxies game. I'd like to quickly have everybody introduce themselves. Rich, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Rich. I'm part of the Gauntlet and very excited to give Infinite Galaxies a shot. And I play games, and there you go.
Okay, great. All right. Jesse, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Jesse. I live in the Pacific Northwest. Only been playing RPGs probably for the last 2.5-ish years, so I'm relatively new to it, but I kind of dove into the story game side of things. So I've been playing a lot of PBTA games and a lot of stuff like that. Just looking forward to having some fun here.
Cool. All right. Skip Dave, since it looks like he's still away. Asher, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
All right, I'm Asher. I'm pretty new too. I just started like in the past year, I think. And I started with Mage and then fell into this PBTA thing. I'm in California, so yep.
Okay, great. Yeah, I will tell you that I've run this game for a lot of people that were not only like newish, like brand new to role playing, like haven't done any RPGing at all, and they were able to pick it up. So no, I have no doubt that you guys will pick this up pretty quickly. So I wanted to briefly talk about the game mechanics here. We'll have Dave introduce himself if we have a chance later. So it sounds like you guys are all familiar with PBTA. So it's the standard roll 2d6, modify it with an ability score. Sometimes you'll modify it with something else, but usually an ability. And you have your complete success on a 10 or higher, 7 through 9 is partial success, and a 6 or less is a failure. And my role as the GM is to jump in and do stuff when there's a failure or on a the move will tell me to pick something, but usually it's you guys picking stuff. So that's the basics of it. We'll talk about some of the new stuff in the game here during character creation. That's usually when I do that. So the next part I want to do is give you guys kind of some context for what the characters are kind of doing at the beginning of the game. And as I mentioned, I think before we started recording, the way I approach is that I will, in a longer game like this, I'll tend to do a brief setup, a scenario that you guys will start with, and then it just kind of goes wherever you guys go. So I don't have a lot of concrete plans in mind or anything. I just have some kind of notes for me, just in case I need to kind of steer things in a certain direction, or things seem to be not moving along. So, but for the most part, I'll be following your guys' lead in terms of what you guys want to do with the game. So, so as I mentioned, this is set in the default setting in Infinite Galaxies book is known as Star Patrol, and this is a setting that is in our real world universe. So there's like an Earth and a Mars and a Jupiter and all that stuff, and all of the star systems that exist in our universe also exist in this universe. And I've added additional star systems, just for funsies, right? To make things a little more interesting. And also, I've added some alien species to the game. So we'll briefly touch upon those if we need to. But so in this setting, the Terran Alliance is a political organization, and it is comprised of the Earth Terran humans. There's also humans on this place called Cygnus, which is another star system. They're also humans. There's also humans from this place called the Pegasus. So they're all together in this group, along with the Greys. who live in Tau Cetus, and the Porcentauri, who are these equine humanoids that are kind of fun. So those groups are all in the Terran Alliance. And the Terran Alliance has this interstellar law enforcement arm called Star Patrol, and they're to keep the peace and enforce interstellar law and stuff like that. So the characters are going to start off as either employees of Star Patrol or contractors or a mix of both. We'll talk about what your guys' role is with Star Patrol, but you're working for them in some capacity. In addition, the assumption is that you guys have all worked together in some capacity. I actually have a little bit of a nugget from your last mission that you were just on that you guys will get to decide how that went and what happened. So we'll talk about that when so one of Star Patrol's main initiatives right now is the eradication of pirates in Terran Alliance space. They're also watching the border regions near the Maskai Empire. So the Maskai Empire is another political organization. The Maskai are a species of reptilian humanoids who are very aggressive and mean, pretty much. So they have been at war with the Terran Alliance in the past. So there's kind of a border region between the two of them, and so worried about things happening there that might signal that the Maskai are getting ready to attack, or something might be happening. So unfortunately for Star Patrol, they have a limited resources out in that area because it's kind of the edge of what they what they have. So a lot of times when they send folks out to these regions, it may just be like a small group, right? So when we'll talk about what you guys are doing out there. But anyway, so you'll be in one of those regions. So so you guys have just finished a tour in the Epsilon Eridanus system, and you're now headed to the Electra system. And I will give you guys a little bit of information about those systems once we get to that point. Because you guys work for Star Patrol, you'll have access to equipment for the most part, so you don't need to spend money on standard gear. So like your character will start with gear, and then if there's other things that you think that you want, pretty much if they're low cost things, you can have them. There's also going to be a requisition move that you can use to get more high dollar things. So anyway, so that's what I've got. Any questions about any of that? No? Okay. Start with the character creation part of this. So when I go through the character creation stuff, this is when I tend to explain some of the specific rules and a lot of the new stuff in the game. So we'll kind of go through all these steps together. A lot of this will be very familiar to you if you've played the PBTA games in the past. So so we've chosen playbooks. Rich is playing the robot, Jesse's playing the scientist, Dave is playing the Psi, and Asher is playing the Jack. So what I'd like to do first is have each one of you talk about your playbook and what it's good at doing. So Rich, why don't you tell us about the robot?
The robot, I'm a robot. Such I'm immune to many things that tend to befall living beings. I do not eat, breathe, or sleep. I am not susceptible to poisons, disease, or fatigue, but I don't heal either. In order to gain vitality or wounds, I must be repaired. I increase my damage die to a D8 because of the package I chose, which is combat. I also get within that package the moves of Avowed Protector, which modify the defend move, Large and in Charge, which allows me to intimidate through a show of force, and then Matter Gun, which means that I've installed a small gun that shoots matter, which will hurt other people.
Right. So yeah, so I should step back here for a sec. So Rich has already chosen his package. So these playbooks are a little bit different than some other playbooks that you guys have seen in PBTA games. So you have a couple of default moves, 1 or 2 default moves, and then you're going to pick a package, which is going to give you additional moves. So right away, you get to kind of customize your character with one of these packages. So if you've already picked a package, then yeah, go ahead and tell us what you picked and why. So Jesse, you've got the scientist. Why don't you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, so the scientist starts out with a default move here, create device. So it looks like I'll be able to create or modify things basically for a particular scene. It looks like it lasts about 1 scene, but I can do some kind of crazy modifications to things or creations. So that's pretty cool. I've also gone ahead and chosen the physician package, which gives me a few moves: first aid, biologist, and pharmacology. So I'll be patching up these guys as we get into some shenanigans here.
Okay, great. All right, and Dave, are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell us about your psi.
Yeah, I've got so we start with some kind of reserve where sort of like almost like points to use these like powers over or with. I also start out with a Kreth jewel, which is something that either is embedded into my body or can float around me for different effects. And the package I was going with was the Psionic Warrior, where I can go into a combat trance to fight a little better. Makes my Kreth weapon better, and also precognitive defense, which sounds awesome. Definitely gonna use that.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, and finally, Asher, why don't you tell us about your Jack?
So the Jack's good at gathering information, and then I chose the espionage package, so it's even more. So I have infiltration for like infiltrating organizations or states or places. Shadowing, so following people, and metamorph, which is like disguise. So I can use the disguise system.
Yeah. So the metamorph disguise system is actually like a holographic disguise kit that you can use. So it lets you like look like somebody else. So it's pretty cool. Okay. Great. All right. So so it sounds like you guys have all picked your packages, and that's cool. The next step I want to do is talk about the ability modifiers. So if you guys have played Dungeon World, you're familiar with these are the same abilities there in Dungeon World. So your strength, dexterity, constitution, etc. But instead of using like the numbers like in Dungeon World, we just use the modifiers. So you're going to have an array of modifiers that you're going to assign to those abilities. So you get, and you'll see it on the playbook, but there's a +2, 2 +1s, 2 zeros, and a -1, and you're going to slot those into your various spots there. So what I suggest is doing this after you've picked your package, because some of the moves in their packages may suggest that you want to be good at certain abilities over others. You don't have to do that, but that's make sure that you're good at something that you're going to be doing a lot, hopefully. So so go ahead and do that.
I noticed the look also has a place for weapons. Like, what kind of weapons should we put as our look?
Well, so the look is purely descriptive. So that is like, what do your weapons look like? Are they gleaming? Are they rusty? Are they archaic? It's just kind of like what they look like. It's not what they are. I mean, you can put, I have a big rifle if you want to, I guess. But unless your character starts with a rifle, that's not going to be very truthful. So, but it's more of like what it looks like as opposed to what it is. So kind of a style or something, or All right, any other questions about ability modifiers or anything, assigning them? Okay. And you guys can do that when you get a chance. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. The next step I want to talk about is the origin. So on the back of the sheet, second page, you'll notice, I'm just doing this in person, so I'll say the back of the sheet. But anyway, on the second page, you'll see origin. And so this is a benefit that is based on your character's personal backstory. So you'll notice that playbooks have 3 options there. For everyone but the robot, one of the options is alien. The rest of them are all, it's assumed that you're a human, but you don't have to be. But the default assumption is that most characters are human in the game. But again, it's just whatever the benefit is there that you get for doing it. So if you want to pick one of the benefits and say you're an alien, that's fine. I also want to link a document in the chat. This is a, can't do that. So Star Patrol has these specific species that I talked about, and they have some special origins associated with them that you guys can pick. So I'm going to post a link to those if you alien and pick one of those. I'm going to post a link to this document, so give me just a sec to do that. This would just replace the alien one that's there. So, all right. So anyway, any questions about origin or what you do with that? Listed is optional origins for the Star Patrol setting for aliens. It doesn't have every possible combination, but it has a bunch of different options for you. And I guess once you've picked your origin, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about what you picked? Has anyone picked something yet?
I think for my robot, I'm going to choose the origin of personal assistant. You were designed to assist a specific biological, which I assume is a party member. Choose an ally with whom you have a relationship, which we'll define next, I guess. And once per session, I can aid that ally. They automatically get complete success on their move, which means that you all want me to be your personal assistant.
Right. We'll have a competition for who that is. So yeah, we'll go over the relationships towards the end here, but that's a new part of the game that I'll describe to you guys. All right. Has anyone else picked the origin?
Yeah, I have. So for my scientist, I picked Academy Trained. It says when a move calls for you to attract unwanted attention or be put in a dangerous spot, you may mark a use of medic gear or relevant specialized tools instead of that outcome. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, nice.
So medic gear and specialized tools are items in the game that have uses that are associated with moves. Usually you'll have a move that'll say, usually on a partial success, it'll say mark a use of one of these things. So that's what that stuff's for. So it gives you an additional option with that stuff. So that's cool. All right. Has anyone else picked an origin?
Yeah, I think I'll just spy.
Okay. So what does that do for you? Uh-oh. All right. David, did you pick an origin?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Porcentauri.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, excellent.
So those are, I think, I had a question about them too.
Yeah.
So they're kind of, I think, equinoids. So I assume that's horse-like. Right?
Yeah, so they're kind of the opposite of a centaur. So if you think of a centaur having a horse body and a human top, they're the opposite. So they have a horse like top part and like legs and arms and stuff.
Oh, gotcha. I was wondering if they're centaurs.
Yeah, they're the opposite. And there's two flavors of them. So the ones that are friendly are the Porcentauri, which are blue-ish in hue, and there's the Rouge Centauri, who are red, and they're mean and aggressive and passionate about being like hatred and stuff. So they're kind of polar opposites. So nice kind. All right, cool. And Asher, did you get back to us?
Yeah, sorry, my connection froze for a sec. So I chose spy.
Okay.
You've worked ever as a spy for a government or corp, you get the cover advance. So I imagine that's why I was recruited, because I have this cover identity. So
yes. So yeah. So the cover. So if you notice, there's an advance on the bottom of the second page. That's where your advance is that you can pick later, and so you're getting that one ahead of time. So the cover advance, basically, you have a full cover, like identity, like ID cards or whatever. I mean, you can pose as somebody else if you need to. So that's what that's for. Cool. Okay. So it sounds like everyone has picked an origin. Go ahead and fill that stuff in on the spreadsheet when you get a chance. Next bit I want to talk about is the equipment. So right under, well, not right under that, but lower down on that second page is the list of equipment. So on the left-hand side, you'll see that you have a set of default gear, except for Rich. You don't get anything, sorry. But you'll see that you have some default items. And then on the right-hand side, there's some gear for you to pick. So you'll pick some of those items there. If you have any questions about the equipment, there is an equipment list in the download packet that explains what things do. I can obviously answer questions if you have any. Also keep in mind that Star Patrol is going to supply you with stuff while you're working for them. So you may be able to get more stuff than what's there. But go ahead and pick that stuff just as like a default state, and then we'll figure out if you need more gear or not. With any equipment. However, you do have 2 armor, so you can just go ahead and put that in for your armor.
Okay. One of the equipment options is +2 credit or 1 barter. What's the difference between credit and barter?
So credit is the abstract system of money in the game system. So 1, 2, and 3 credit is a reasonable amount of money for someone to be walking around with. More than that, it's quite a bit. Barter is used to trade for things. So barter could be like starship parts. You just have a bunch of them that you've collected somehow, and you're going to trade them for some service or some good. So it's kind of like money, but it's more like trade goods. Acquire barter during the course of, like, the adventure. Like, let's say you guys find a broken down starship and one of you decides to scavenge for parts, you might get a barter out of that. So is also useful in places that may not accept money for some reason. Like some, ne'er-do-wells may not want to deal with, money. So like, give me some trade goods. So that's what that's for. So there's a move. If it's a kind of a stressful or dangerous situation and you're trying to barter, there's a move for it, but normally you can just use it for stuff. So you guys should have options to get armor. So if you do, just go ahead and mark the armor value on your spot for that where it says armor. And there's guns and things and all kinds of goodies.
Ouch, it looks like I get no armor.
Yeah, the scientist does not start with any armor. Star Patrol
Totally,
probably
that's
give
fine.
you like a... Yeah, Star Patrol will probably give you a vest or something if you really want one.
Yeah. No, it's totally fine. I get it.
You do have the option later on to get a combat exoskeleton, so I wouldn't complain too much.
No, that sounds pretty good.
Equipment. All right. You guys will have some more time to look at that stuff if you need it. I just want to get through the rest of this here real quick. I did want to talk about the vitality and wound system. So if you're familiar with Dungeon World, they have kind of a hit point system, and so I've modified that a bit. So hit points are now vitality, or health, I guess is what it was called. It's vitality now. Same idea. You're going to have some static value, and then you're going to modify it with your constitution. Hopefully it's a bonus. So it'll be a number 12 to 16 or so in there. So when you take damage in the game, you're going to reduce your vitality by that number. When your vitality drops to 0, take damage, you're going to mark a wound. So you'll see that you've got 3 wound boxes there. Every time you mark a wound, there's a special move called Wounded that you have to roll. And you could get knocked out or bad things could happen even with just 1 wound. When you mark all 3 wounds, you go to this other move called the Void, in which case you could kick the bucket. So hopefully nobody will do that, but that's the gist of how the vitality and wound system works. At the end of every scene, kind of a coherent time and space where you're kind of on the same place, kind of doing the same sort of thing. I'll tell you when there's a new scene, but you'll pretty much figure it out. But anyway, at the end of every scene, you get all your vitality back. So it's a temporary damage, right? Except the robot, the poor robot. So that's kind of his weakness. He gets a bunch of cool stuff right off the bat, but he has to be repaired. So if he starts taking much damage, you guys will need to figure out how to fix him, because the scientist probably won't be able to, with his starting stuff, have that move. No. So anyway, you guys will figure that out. There's items in the game that can also fix the robot, so we can talk about that if he starts getting damaged. But yeah, so that's how that system works. Any questions about that? Okay. All right. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is how the experience and advancement stuff works. So so in this game, you guys will tally experience just like in Dungeon World and some of the other PBTA games. So the way that you earn experience in Infinite Galaxies is by triggering drives and relationships. So you do not get XP for failing and things like that. So on page, you've got some drives and you've got some relationships, and we're going to talk about what those are and what they're used for. So so drives are personal goals that your character has. When I introduce the first milestone, and we'll talk about milestones in a minute, but when I introduce the first milestone, you guys are going to pick 2 of those. And then when you do those things during the course of the game, you're going to get XP for doing those. Okay. Every time there's a new milestone, you can change what those are. So for example, you might have a milestone that comes up that says, defeat the pirate fleet or whatever. Okay. So knowing that that's what you're sort of trying to do, you will mark make sense for combat or whatever, right? And then later on, once that's resolved, you might have another milestone that says, investigate the mysterious asteroid or something, right? So then you might say, well, I want to change what my drives are. So every time there's a new milestone, you can change what drives you have marked. You're going to probably switch them out a lot, okay? So again, when you trigger those things in the game, so you attempt to do those things, then you get XP for doing that. Relationships work in a similar way. However, you will have one relationship for every other character. So there's 4 of you, which means you're going to pick 3 of those relationships, and you're going to put the other characters' names. Once we have names, you'll put the characters' names in those slots. And it works the same way. So when you trigger those things during the game, you get XP for doing that. You notice that the relationships are all things that you need to do for, with, to someone else, or have them do for, with you. So it requires you guys to work together. In the past, in some of my games, I have had people work together to figure out, oh, let's get some relationships that we can trigger off each other, and that's totally fine. Please do that, because that's a good way to kind of work the system a little bit in your favor. So feel free to discuss that, strategize, whatever, that's cool. But those do not change. So you will have that relationship for the course of the game. So, and so I did mention milestones. So when the game starts, at some point when it makes sense, when you guys have pretty much figured out what you're going to be doing, I'll introduce a milestone. And the milestone is just kind of a description of some action that you guys are trying to take in general. So it's not a specific action, but like I said, it could be, investigate the mysterious asteroid. It could be rescue the princess or whatever, something you're trying to do. How you do it is up to you. The point of the milestone is it gives you guys a bit of a direction in terms of what you're trying to accomplish. And when you resolve that milestone, if you're successful, you get XP for it. So it's another way for you guys to generate some XP. At the end of the session, we'll have an end of session move, which is you probably recognize if you play Dungeon World, and you'll get some XP from that too. So that's the XP system in a nutshell. Any questions about any of that?
Where's experience on the character sheet?
Ooh, I think I forgot to put that on there. Oh, that's a good call. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Okay. I will add it later. So you guys just tally it for yourselves now on like a piece of paper or something, and I'll tinker with the sheet. Unless somebody wants to volunteer and tinker with it for me, that's fine
Looks like
too.
someone's already adding it, yeah.
I'm doing
Okay, good, because I totally forgot about that. Rich, did the Dungeon World one have XP on it? I don't remember seeing that.
I don't know.
Weird. Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, so you'll mark your XP on there, and yeah, so that's pretty much character creation. The last bit is to give your character a name and look, and then what we'll do before you guys pick your relationships is we'll go around and have everybody give their fully fleshed out description of the character, and that will help you pick which relationships you want to go with. And then once we're done with the relationships, I'm going to ask each one of you a question regarding your characters, your group, or your personal stuff and what's happening, and we'll use that to kind of kick off the game. So whenever someone feels like they're done, just go ahead and chime in and start giving your name, look, personality, whatever you want to describe about your character. How we doing? Is anyone finished yet? Still working on it? Sounds like we're still working on it. Okay. I guess I'll take this opportunity to talk a little about the Kickstarter real quick, since you guys are working on stuff. So Kickstarter is in progress. We have 12 days left at this time of this recording. We're about 1,800 away from our goal, which is great. It looks like we're probably going to make our goal, which is awesome. I mean, I don't think there's any chance we're not going to make it, but don't mind if people want to check it out and contribute. That'd be awesome. And we have some stretch goals in mind that would be great if we could hit some of those as well. All right, how we doing? Anybody ready yet?
I've got enough to kick things off. So I am playing the robot, and the robot is called Pearl, which stands for Personal Assistant and Real Life Educator. However, she's been reprogrammed over the years, and I'm using female gender because that's the way that she was created. She doesn't have any actual like sexual characteristics other than appearance, but like you remove the clothing and there's just like a Barbie doll. Pearl is a combat robot, and she has a matter gun, which I'm just because this is one of those games where you can make up your own stuff. I imagine that she has like just a little thing that kind of pops out. Oh, actually, no. Mercy from DC Universe, the bodyguard for Lex Luthor, is. I think that I will go with that. So her hand she pops her hand up and it splits open, and the matter gun is there for shooting things. Yeah, the large in charge is kind of weird within the package, but I'm just going to go with it. And she's also a personal assistant. So her original designation was to basically be a stenographer and Wikipedia, but she's just over time upgraded herself to shooting. That is Pearl.
All right. Do you have an idea which one of the other characters that you wanted to pick for your origin benefit?
I of course would be nice if the scientist could heal me. Otherwise, no one else is in the lead quite yet.
All right. Well, we'll see how this shakes out. All right. Anybody else ready to describe your character? Still working on it? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I can go for it.
Okay.
So my character I called Rue, and they're boxy. I imagine I'm like covered in like cloaks, like inside, like kind of cyberpunky. And I think they normally like wear a helmet so people can't tell who they are. And then I wrote that the weapons are shadowy. And then what else were we doing? Sorry.
Just let's see. So name, look, personality, if you want. Any other things that you can think of that you want to throw out there about your character?
I did the drives, so get someone else out of danger using skill and guile, and explore a city in dangerous place.
So we're not actually going to pick the drives yet, so you don't need to pick those yet. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to pick those once the game starts, so you can ignore those. We will do the relationships after this bit where we describe our characters, so we'll keep an eye on those. All right. Anyone else ready to describe your character?
Sure, I can go if that works. I've got Cullen, the scientist, and so I've got a very short, thin, kind of like knobby, jointed medic-looking guy with a bit of a comb over. I'd say he's wearing a medic suit with a utility belt. He kind of defaults to like kind of a sour expression on his face. This is someone who probably intended to be like a surgeon, in some big hospital or something like that, but instead is relegated to being a medic for Star Patrol here. So not very happy with his lot in life. But yeah, I think that's what I've got so far, and I'll get more into it with the drives in a minute when we do that.
Okay, and then I've got some of mine. I'm Corbin for Chintari, who I think I picked an alien specifically so I can try to make up some of this background of them. And I think usually when they're psychics, they're telepaths, and usually really strong ones. And those that aren't telepaths are kind of just shuffled off into being psychic warriors when it's maybe the red Chintari are way more commonly psychic warriors, and when the blue ones are, they're kind of looked down upon. So Corbin doesn't have a lot of social status with his people, but he has been, I think, assigned to maybe be the guardian of one of these folks here, and that's what he's all about so far. And the Psychic Warrior is definitely, I'm not going to play it like a Jedi at all. Don't even think that. Just kidding. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Rory, I think you've got yourself muted. Are you talking?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Wow. All right. So we did have in the game, they went to the Porsche Antari homeworld, and they were described as kind of a hedonistic, kind of a hippie culture. So it'll be kind of funny because it sounds like you're trying to play against type anyway. So if you want to go with that as kind of their description, that'd be pretty cool. All right, so it sounds like we have our characters described now, so you can now do your relationships. So as a reminder, you're going to pick 3 of the relationships that are there, and you're going to put one of the other characters' names in each of those 3 relationships. And when you do those things, you're going to get XP for triggering that relationship. So you want to make sure that you pick things that you think you'll be doing. You guys should probably, discuss amongst yourselves if you want. What relationships you have. Now, the important thing about relationships is that when you trigger the relationship, you get the XP for it, whoever has it on their playbook. So you guys, it's possible that you guys could have 2 competing or opposite relationships. Like one person sees your relationship one way and the other person sees it the other way. That's totally possible. So you get XP for the same action unless you guys have relationships that are very similar to each other. So, but anyway, we can talk about that. So take a look at what you have and then discuss, and we'll see what you guys come up with.
What's the special relationship?
Aha, so the special relationship is the same as a regular relationship, except that so there is a move in the game called Aid, and Aid allows you to help somebody else with the action they're trying to do. When you have a regular relationship with someone, you give them a +1. In a special relationship, you give them a +2. That's the only functional difference, aside from some special moves and origin benefits that relate to special relationships. But for the most part, that's the only difference. And you get one of the special relationships if you want to. You don't have to use it, but yeah. So that's what that is.
Okay, so you want us to list out relationships, is that right?
Yeah, once you have some, go ahead and read them off to us. Yeah.
All right. Let me take a look here. I have... Oh, crap. I was looking wrong. There we go. Oh, who wants Pearl to be watching your back? I don't think I'm watching the back of someone of the Psy Warrior who said he's watching someone else's back, although that could be amusing in a weird way.
The flow chart. Who's watching who's back?
Well, you'd always know marching order.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Rich, I think at least for mine, I think I've got that one of my relationships is that someone must protect me from injury, and I was thinking about putting you there because I can imagine myself hiding behind the robot if things get dicey. So,
all right, grumpy scientist, you now have a Pearl.
All right, cool.
Cullen needs me to watch their back.
Yep. Excellent. So now you guys can arrange it so that you have relationships that can trigger off each other. That's perfectly legit. So if you can figure out a way to do that, do it. I recommend it. So for example, if Cullen has a relationship, so-and-so is going to watch my back or protect me from harm, then that would make sense. That way you guys can both get XP when that happens.
I've got another relationship I'll just throw out there to see if To only get 1 XP at a time because we're not getting that cool double XP thing like from +1 forward. So I'm not going to double up, which means I'm offering this to either David or Asher for your unnamed characters.
No, they have names.
Oh, they do? Rue, and name? What's the name?
David,
Corbin.
Character name to choose.
Corbin is the Psy.
Corbin. Okay. Oh, thank you. Sorry. How about either Corbin or Rue? Do you say Balik or Balikwi or Balik? How did you say it, Asher? You're muted, Asher.
Balik, but
Balik?
I just
Sounds
said
awesome.
Rue before, yeah.
Okay. Rue or Corbin, do either of you want to rely on my vast knowledge? Let me warn you, I have an intelligence of 0.
I have one that someone advises me when it comes to money, so you can use your knowledge to help me
I'm
with
a
money.
walking Bitcoin bank. So I'm mining right now. Okay.
And then
We did have somebody who was playing the robot one time that had that relationship, and they literally had like a little slot where they stuck the other character's money inside their body, like a piggy bank.
Nice. Physical money. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, let's see. I actually
went Corbin instead of Rue.
what's that?
question for both Corbin and Rue. So one of my relationships is that I must keep blank in tip-top shape. Either you guys have any idea which one of you that would be? Like if I have some reason, someone maybe higher up told me keep this person alive or something like that.
Makes sense for the robot, right?
Could. I guess that would be tricky. I mean, I am a physician, not like more of a one of the other choices was like engineer and stuff like that. So I'm more biological as far as my expertise and my moves.
Yeah, he's like a medical doctor more than an engineer.
Yeah.
What if you take Corbin and the reason behind it is we can't let another one of these aliens die. We got to make sure.
Works for me.
This could cause an incident.
Works for me. Yeah, I like that.
An interstellar incident. All right.
And I have right now for Cullen, I need to show Cullen that psionics are superior. And I think maybe I'm trying to show you that these crystals are the real source of healing. And you should really just focus yourself and stop using all these stupid scientific terms.
Interesting.
I like it.
So the implication there, maybe Cullen distrusts psionics for some reason?
Yeah.
That they're real, or I don't know.
I'm sure he believes that they're real. I don't think that he likes that someone could be, tinkering up here in any way, shape, or form, reading anything that's going on. I think Cullen is so unhappy with what he's done. I think he's developed like a little bit of a sticky finger issue. So he's looking out for himself out there. If there's something easy that he can, that'll make his life more comfortable or add to his wealth a little bit, he's not above doing that while on an official mission.
Okay.
So I think he just hates that. He doesn't like the idea that he distrusts anything that could figure out that he's not completely on the up and up.
Sure. Okay. Great. Okay. Who do we have left?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Rue, I think I'm going to make you, if you're okay with it, my special relationship.
Okay.
So I think I was assigned to kind of guard you, or I guess maybe in one of these spy missions, perhaps, or something. But it reads, I must make Rue better understand my powers. So maybe just trust him in some way. But one thing that happens in that case is we have, maybe if we like it or not, have a permanent telepathic bond. So that's surely not invasive. And
one of
lastly,
mine is getting someone to tell me their secret. So I was thinking learning about telepathy could be the secret I'm learning about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I like that one. And then my third one is I think I'm going to have Pearl must keep me grounded in reality since I can't. You don't have a biological mind. It's unaffected. So you're the only one I can really trust, isn't it? aren't you?
It's sad but true. I have
All
one I
right,
need to assign to. Oh, I need to assign one to Corbin. Which would you rather have, Corbin? I must help Corbin destroy something, or I must take Corbin to new places. Which is more interesting to you? Or do you want to keep me prepared? Do you want to be the one who has the little fix-it kit?
Yeah, that one would be harder. I think the exploring new places sounds good.
Okay. I'm done.
Okay. Has everyone picked out their 3 relationships then?
Just getting my third one figured out here.
Okay.
I think Rue, if this sounds good to you, I think my experience is limited out in the in doing this stuff, and I need Rue to take me to new places, and I just figure that your background would be so out of my general experience as far as the kind of things you get up to that would work. Does that sound good?
Yeah, as long as you're fine with seedy and dangerous places.
Hey, that works for me. Is there profit to be made there? I'm good on that then.
All right. Okay. Anyone else? It sounds like we're finishing up with this part. Okay. So the last part that I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about, I want to ask you guys some questions about your PCs and what they're doing. So I'm going to give each one of you a question to answer, and then we'll see where that goes. So I'm going to start with our robot. So Pearl. So I mentioned that you guys, your last assignment was in Epsilon Eridanus, which is another star system. And what was your assignment there, and how did that assignment end?
I'm going to say that our assignment was to investigate a psychically active ore that was found in a mine that had been abandoned for quite a while, and then was just recently rediscovered.
And what was Star Patrol's interest in this orb?
So the ore was psychically active, so it could enhance the powers of Corbin's species and their psychic abilities, psi abilities.
So were people using it for illegal purposes, or like why was Star Patrol worried about this?
Oh, well, yeah, there was a gang. Since we're Dutch World, so I'll just make it combat related. There's a gang of like people who were becoming psychically active, so we had to go take them down and take the ore away from them and put them in jail. Stuff.
And how did that assignment end up? Were you successful?
Well, we used to have a 5-member team.
Okay.
But we were successful.
Okay. And do you want to name this poor lost soul? Are they dead? Or they left the team? Or what happened to them?
I think that Corbin should answer that question.
Ooh.
What happened to them?
I think you should too. What happened?
Yeah, they definitely died.
Who was it?
Oh, I thought you had a names list. You've got a cool list here of like all kinds of other stuff, like people, places, and things.
Yeah.
There's no names.
There's too many possible names. The list would
There's
be...
not too many because there's so many now we can't think of one.
All right, we'll just say that it was a team member and they're toast. Okay, we'll worry about that later. All right, so let's move on. So yeah, why don't we jump to Corbin then? Or Cullen, sorry. Cullen. So who is the team's commanding officer or liaison with Star Patrol, and what is your relationship like with them?
So one of these is the liaison with Star Patrol.
No, this would be an NPC. This is not one of you guys.
Oh, okay, not one of us. Can you repeat the question then one more time?
Yeah, so you guys have either a commanding officer or some kind of liaison with Star Patrol. So it kind of depends on if you're employees of Star Patrol or if you're contractors. So you guys should probably make that decision at some point. And it can be a mix of them. It's fine. But in other words, you're going to have somebody, an NPC in Star Patrol that you're going to interact with. So I'm looking for who that person is and what your relationship is like with them.
Okay. Let's see. I guess I'll put this out to the group. Are we actually part of Star Patrol, or are we contracted? What do you guys want to do there? Any?
Do I need it? No, I think it would be. I think it would be more interesting to be in the Star Patrol, personally. But I don't know. What about Rue? That kind of. Do you think they're employing like a shadow ops team or something? Because that could be interesting.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think they would want to hire us. Otherwise, we might just leave for another corporate or organization. You know.
Okay, so we're part of the organization. Then I'm gonna say our liaison, our direct superior's name is Cade, and I think I have a bit of a sketchy relationship, like kind of almost antagonistic with Cade, because I got stuck in this group instead of like I got kind of in my training I got kind of funneled over into the Star Patrol medic thing as opposed to where I was hoping to be. So I think I have an issue with Star Patrol authority in general.
Okay, and so Cade is your commanding officer. Does everyone else have a kind of standoffish relationship with Cade as well? Like, is Cade just generally a kind of abrasive personality, or do other people have different relationships with this person?
I find Cade very stimulating.
Okay. What do you guys think? Anyone else have an opinion?
I'll say maybe maybe he's a space racist. He hates aliens, so I'm not a fan of him either.
Okay, that's fair. He already sounds like a jerk anyway, so that seems to fit. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next question here, and we'll get a chance to meet Cade shortly, I think. All right, so this is a good question, I think, for Corbin or Sai. Why did you decide to join Star Patrol, and what are you hoping to achieve?
Okay, yeah, I think since I'm one of the poor Chintari, but I have the talents of the warriors. I wasn't really welcome in the homeworld, so that's why I was hoping these these humans, they're just so squishy. They need my protection. Hopefully, I can find a purpose to my life here. But I think secretly he kind of wants to unlock the telepathy that's more common with them.
Okay, so there's other Sais in Star Patrol. You would know that, so maybe you can meet some of them. Maybe they can help you with that. Sure.
Yeah. And I think maybe it's not even been that, like, it's a relatively recent thing. Like maybe an Earth year or two since he's been here.
Okay, great. All right, and I'm not going to ask the rest of you the same question, but it's something to think about. Why your character's in Star Patrol. If it comes up, something to consider. All right, last question is for our Jack, Mr. Rue. What have your interactions with interstellar criminals been like, and how do you feel about the law?
It's probably a complicated relationship, right? I feel like this is more asking about how I feel about the Star Patrol, right?
Yeah, and like your role there, like how do you feel about, because your character probably has some criminal contacts, right? So how do you feel about sometimes having to use them, compromise them, whatever,
Mm-hmm. I think it's okay as long as it's part of the job, but I'll probably see unintended consequences of the missions I have to do, right? Like if I'm trying to get into a group, like the first person that I contact will be like the hardest hit, because everyone will blame them for letting me in.
Okay, great. All right, so looks like we're pretty much done with character creation part of it. We are going to take a short break. This will give you guys a chance to finish up adding all your stuff to the spreadsheet, and then we'll jump into the action here in a moment. Okay? So back in 3 minutes. All right, I'm back. All right, we're getting back here, looks like. All right. Still waiting on everybody else to get back here. Do you have any questions, Dave, about your character or anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Do we have a place where the equipment is
There should
explained?
be, yeah, there should be
In
gear
the
at the
download
bottom.
thing?
Yeah. Oh, you mean equipment list? Yeah. At the end of the download packet is the equipment list. So look for like page 30-ish, I think is the first one. There's like personal equipment, and then there's vessel equipment. Yeah.
All right, cool, thanks. I think I just picking the last one of that, and then I should be all caught up.
Okay.
I do have one quick question about gear. So my character gets medic gear 3 uses, and I'm looking at the character equipment page on your thing, and there's a whole medical items section.
Mhm.
Does medic gear 3 uses mean that I get like basically 3 of those things upon need? Like I just decide which I want at that time, or does it mean something else?
Medic gear is a specific
Oh, I
piece
see
of
it.
general, like first
found it.
aid and associated. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I just found it there.
But you can also get those things too. You can probably get a few of those if you really want them from Star Patrol. So
Okay.
let me know if you see anything on there that interests you.
Okay.
Remember, you could also make stuff. I think you can make like a healing potion or something, right?
Yeah, I could totally do that. Yeah. Let's see.
I wanted to point out too, this may be of interest to the scientists. You can pick up other moves from those starting packages later when you advance. So if you decide later on that you can.
Great, because I'll definitely want something to be able to take care of Pearl and keep Pearl in tip-top shape here. So that'll be good.
You can probably get with your first advance. I think it's just one move. I think there's
yeah.
I forget what it's called, but the engineer I think has it.
Yeah, repair. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
Repair move. Yeah.
Yep. You can also fix a ship with that move, which is handy.
That would be very handy. Yeah.
All right. Looks like we're still waiting on. Looks like Rich is back. All right, we're just waiting on Asher. Asher, are you back? Looks like Asher's back. Okay, cool. All right. So last piece here is I'm going to give you guys some information about the setup for this, and then we'll get started. We'll get rolling here. So Star Patrol has sent you guys to the Electra system. You are aboard a ship called the Initiative. It is a patrol ship. It's about double the size of a large starship. So I don't know if you guys looked at but it has different sizes. So it's bigger than the biggest one of those. Oh, David. Okay. The initiative's mission is to find the interstellar gangster Garcanius Brand. He is a half Maskai cyborg gangster. I'll put his name in the chat, so in case you want to know how any of that is spelled.
What's a Maskai?
The Maskai are the reptilian humanoids that don't like humans. They're from this place called the Maskai Empire, which is, so there's the Maskai Empire and the Terran Alliance. Those are the two political organizations that are at odds with each other. So he's half Maskai and half human. So he is at the top of Star Patrol's most wanted list. And he has been since he and his gang destroyed several Star Patrol ships in the Delta Hercules system about a year ago. Star Patrol has tracked him to the Electra system and are hoping to capture him there. One of your missions that you'll be given will be related to this Garcanius Brand fellow. The Electra system. Garcanius Brand is known to travel with a gang of cyborgs and aliens. As I mentioned, he's half Maskai. So it's possible that he could seek asylum with the Maskai Empire. So the Electra star system is kind of situated in this sector called Far Space, which is between the Terran Alliance and the Maskai Empire. It's a kind of an area of disputed space. So Star Patrol has very little legal authority here. But that doesn't mean they try to use it when they can. So that's why they're sending you guys in there. But they're not sending in like a huge fleet of ships, because it might cause problems with the Maskai. So they're just sending in the initiative. Right now, if things escalate, perhaps they'll send more ships. But at this point, it's kind of see if you can find this guy and bring him in. That's kind of the general idea here. Garcanius Brand also has contacts and known associates in the Electra system. So Star Patrol would like to question these associates and see if they will give up Brand's location or activities. So a little bit about the star system that you're in. The Electra system is in the far space sector. As I mentioned, it sits between the Terran Alliance and the Maskai Empire. Because of its location, the Electra system has seen a lot of combat. So in the past, when the Maskai and the Terran Alliance were at war, there's a lot of fighting here. So there's actually a lot of wreckage of old starship battles still in this sector. So I'm sorry, not in this sector, in this, well, I guess in the sector, but specifically in the star system, there's a lot of wreckage of old ships and stuff like that. Electra has one star, which is a high magnitude main sequence yellow dwarf. In its habitable zone is a single planet, Electra 2, which does not have a native intelligent species, but there is a colony on that planet. And actually, one of the things I want to get from you guys, so there's a domed colony on Electra 2, and I want somebody to give me a name for this place. Whoever can think of a name, it's all yours. Anybody?
Is it like a human colony, I assume?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably a mix. It's kind of like it'd be like Mos Eisley from Star Wars. So it's got a lot of different folks.
How about Atos?
Atos? How do you spell that?
AATOS.
AATOS. That's the name.
All right.
First come, first serve. All right, Atos. Okay, so Atos is a unaligned, it's not aligned with the Maskai Empire or the Terran Alliance. It's kind of a free-willing place where a lot of business takes place in the system. They have added to, so Atos originally was a smaller colony, and they've added to it by taking some of this starship wreckage and making stuff out of it. So part of the colony is actually this giant cruisers and stuff. So maybe you guys will get a chance to check that out. Electra 2, there are some other planets in the system that are outside the habitable zone. And Electra 2 also has a moon, and there's a satellite, a colony on Luyon. So you may also be able to go there. In addition, there are two other colonies. One is on Electra Minor, which is closer to the star, so it'd be warmer. And Electra 3, which is further away from the star. So they're kind of named in order of their distance from the star. So, and I'll put up a document at some point where you guys can see more of this details if you need it. The star system also has 3 asteroid zones that are rife with hiding places for pirates and other criminals. Any questions about any of that stuff? So you guys are on the initiative. You've just arrived in the Electra system, and our friend Cade, because he's like he's like Colonel Cade. That way, it's alliterative.
Yeah, it's very two-fisted pulp. I love it.
Colonel Cade has summoned you into the staging room, and he says, "Look, you guys have been very successful so far, and I hope that continues. This job to do here in this system. And I hope you're up to the task, because it's either us or nobody. We've been briefed on this Garcanius brand. We know that he is hiding in this system somewhere. We need to find him, because he has a lot of friends. And so I've got a couple options here. The superiors have a couple directions we can go in. I'm going to let you choose which of these you think is the best course of action. We'll see how it goes. A couple of these known associates that and you could try to contact them and see if you can get information from them. So if you want, I'll give you the names of 3 of them. Track these folks down, see what they know. The other option to Atos, and there is a place in Atos called the Underneath, which is their black market / underworld area. And there's almost certainly somebody there who probably knows something about this gangster. So what do you guys think?
Well, so you're saying that there's a few people here that might know where he is?
Right. So Garcanius brand has known associates in this system, and they have 3 of them that they think you could probably go try to track down that might willing to give you information about him. So that's one option. The other option is for you guys to kind of infiltrate this underworld and see if you can in that direction.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to ask: are these associates also part of the criminal element? Would they be dangerous?
Of course they are. Where have you been? Gangsters. I mean, some of them are worse than others, but yeah, they're all bad people. Garcanius brand about that. Did Pearl have a thought?
Looking at the skill set of our team, I do not believe infiltrating and posing as members of this underground would be extremely successful. Perhaps Rue could do it, but I think the rest of us might blow Rue's cover.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a move, right? Infiltration.
Yep. But that's just you.
Right. And it doesn't extract me, so I would still be there.
Nope. It gets you in, and then you got to figure out how to get out. So, I mean, you can use that move, of course, but like I said, you'll be on your own if you do that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think we should leave anyone alone after the last mission. Maybe we should just speak to these ne'er-do-wells.
The known associates. Sure, you can. So if that's the mission you want to take on, that's cool. And if something happens along the way and you find out more information, obviously let us know. So with that in mind, names of 3 of his known associates that are in this system. They have an idea where they are, but you'll need to track them down. Is there any other equipment that you guys might want? They'll give you like a transport and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about that.
I think I would probably end up trying to requisition a repair module of some sort or something like that to take care of Pearl. You know, like I'm in charge of keeping this dang crew alive, and I didn't know I was gonna have to deal with this, bucket of bolts when I signed up on this crew. But like now I got to try and figure this out. So I think.
Okay. So there's an item called the repair module, and we'll give you 2 of those.
All right, great.
Equipment sheet.
Bolts.
I do want to mention that there is a kind of an encumbrance thing. I don't use it a whole lot, but it's called load, and basically it's a number. If you go over that amount of weight on your character, you'll take -1 until you dump something. So, page, there's a calculation to figure that out. But again, you probably aren't likely to go over that, but just keep that in mind. You just tally up all the weights of your stuff and. All right. So you guys are going to be checking out the known associates. I will give you their names and suspected locations. And just, again, if there's any other equipment that you want to requisition before you leave, let me know. So.
Can we get like a tracker system, since we're like, maybe we'll find these people, but we'll have to find them again,
right? Okay, so you mean like a tracking beacon or something that you can throw on a ship or a person or something?
Yeah.
That seems reasonable. Okay, sure. They'll give you guys each 2 of those. So these are like, we'll say they're magnetic, small enough to avoid detection, hopefully. So they're small enough that you could put it on somebody's person, but you can also stick it on a ship. So you guys each you have 2 of those. Just call it like a tracking beacon or something. And then I guess each one of you should have one of you has this device that lets you track them. So your ship, if you're on a ship, you can track them. But then you also have like a handheld. Wants to have that.
I would like to have the tracker.
Okay. We'll say that it has 1 weight.
Awesome. It has 1 weight, and can it make the same sound as the motion tracker from the Aliens movie?
From
Can
Aliens?
it do that?
Certainly. Yeah,
Awesome.
certainly. Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, carry that.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want, equipment-wise, before you head off for your mission? Okay. So, all right. So the initiative is going to park in orbit over Electra 2. It'll be there until otherwise, it moves somewhere, and they'll let you know. You guys all have communicators where you can talk to each other, and you can communicate with the initiative as long as you're within a reasonable range. Like if it's still in orbit, you can do it. But if it moves to another planet, you won't be able to talk to them using that stuff. You'll have to find some other way to communicate with them. So they are going to send you down to the planet on a transport, but they're not going to leave it there. So basically, they'll take you down there and drop you off, like an Uber. And then when you need to get picked up, you can either say, "Hey, we need to get picked up," or you can secure a ship while you're down there if you want. So it is a very basic transport. It doesn't have it has like defensive capabilities, but it's not really built for combat. So basically it's for transporting prisoners and stuff. So you guys will have one of those temporarily and take it down to the planet. Okay, so let me give you the information about the 3 known associates that you can look up. So the first one his name is Rohan, Rohan. Capital letters because he's a robot. So he is an assassin robot. Works for the Condorian Miners Guild. So out in the asteroids, I mentioned there's 3 different asteroid fields. So the Condorian Miners Guild is one of several guilds that mines ore and things out in these asteroids. Some of the planets too. So now and then Rohan is assigned to kill mining guild. So it's a little violent sometimes in this area. It's very lawless. So he is, when he's not on one of these missions, he's usually parked at the lunar colony on Luyan. So this is the moon, Electra 2. So the Condorian Minor Guild is headquartered on this moon. Operations other places, but that's their main headquarters. So that's where he could be found. So that's Rohan. Another known associate is Gurok Horseface Unterrun, who is a Ru Shantari information peddler. So he's the red kind of version of our Psi friend here. He is an information peddler who can usually be found at the Atos colony, which is the place that you guys are orbiting, basically, that colony down on Electra 2. He frequents the Cosmic Casino and the bars adjacent to the Underneath. The Underneath being that kind of black market, kind of scurrilous area that I mentioned earlier. Goorok, Goorok, Horseface. The humans call him Horseface. And he's an information peddler. All right. Third guy is a Cydelian brand who is Garcanius's half-brother, who is also half Maskai. Cydelian is, or Cydelin, I guess, is a smuggler who works both sides of the Terran Alliance Maskai conflict. Flies a fast modified freighter called the Handsome Executioner. So it's a fairly, even though he's a smuggler, his ship is fairly distinctive. So if you can find it, probably somebody has seen it and they can probably point you to it. He tends to hang out in this system and neighboring systems, not any particular place though. So you have to do a little work track him down. So I'm going to put the names in the chat so that you guys, spelling wise and stuff. And again, I think I'll make a document or something so that you can, you'll have these for future reference. Robot. And then Horseface. I think I spelled that wrong. Anyway, and anyway, all right, so there's all that info, and I can repeat any of this if you guys want. So you guys are being briefed. You will have probably some time to get ready and do any kind of last minute preparation. So let's go through each of you. Just let me know like what you'd be doing while you're waiting to maybe head out to do your mission. So what would Pearl be doing?
I think Pearl would be. Do we have any kind of extranet or like data resource? Anything she could do to research the casino, any data on the Handsome Executioner, and then the colony? We can go in order or just one. I don't mind. That's what she would do. She'd basically plug in and try to research.
I mean, so the Handsome Executioner is definitely associated with this Cydelin brand. This ship travels. It has been seen in all these different far space sectors. So he gets around a lot, and he's a smuggler more than like a. I mean, he's still like he can fight, but he's mostly like tries to avoid conflict. Trying to think what else you'd be able to find out without digging a little bit further. And the casino, the Cosmic Casino, is on the Atos colony. It is the only casino there. It's pretty big. It used to be smaller, and then they added some Starship parts to it to make it bigger. So it has a full selection of casino games and electronic games and all kinds of weird stuff. There's probably a bar in the casino. There's like off-track betting on like Starship races and stuff like that. And other sporting events. There's all kinds of stuff there. I mean, if you picture like a modern casino here, it's basically like that. So probably a little shadier, but well, it depends on the casino, I guess. But yeah. Let's see. What else did you want to ask about?
You got 2 of the 3. The last one is just anything in general on Autos. Are they upstanding members of the Federation, the Space Patrol?
Absolutely not. No.
Unaligned, or are they
Unaligned, yeah. So you're as likely to run into Maskai there. Like you could definitely run into some legitimately Maskai just doing trading and stuff like that there. You could run into all kinds of stuff there. So no, it's like I said, if you picture Mos Eisley from Star Wars, that's kind of the idea. So it's like a free for all, sort of all kinds of alien species and stuff running around there, and it's very shady. Yes, well, I should say very shady, somewhat shady.
Okay, cool. That's what.
Watch yourself.
That's what Crow will be doing.
That's right. All right, cool. What about our? See, I'm forgetting people's names for some reason. Colin, what about our scientist? What would he be doing? You're muted. You're still muted. I don't think you can hear me.
Sorry. Yep. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Forgot I was muted. Anyway,
I guess your mouth open.
Yeah. Yeah, so I actually am creating a device. I'm going to be using my my default move right now. I think I'm kind of tinkering with some medical equipment and kind of grumbling, you know, as I'm kind of, what my goal is to take is to basically to retrofit a automated medic, or actually, you know, a genetic cycler. So I see that this is a nice thing that I can use for restoring vitality and removing a debility. I want to retrofit this to be kind of like automatic and not take like basically be a wearable for one of our crew that doesn't have to be, you know, I don't have to interface with it, type anything in, I don't have to do anything. It's basically like I want to add a strap and I want to make it completely automatic.
So the wearer can just like hit a button and it just injects whatever. Is that the idea?
Bingo. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So so the way that that if you're successful, it lasts for the next scene. So it would last for whatever. Well, I'm not going to count this as a scene. So whatever the next scene is that you do, where you're running into trouble. So all right. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that? So why don't you? So I believe on that move, I have to pick some requirements for you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, it sounds pretty reasonable. So I think what I'll do, since you're on the initiative, you'll have all the parts that you need. So it will just take time. So this will be the only thing you'll be able to do until you guys deploy. So
that's fair.
That's it. So those are requirements. So go ahead and we'll have our first roll. Oh yeah, we want to talk about the rolling. So did you guys have a preference? I don't roll dice, so for me it doesn't matter. But do you guys have a preference in terms of the die rolling stuff? Are you guys okay with like an honor system? You guys just roll dice on your side and just tell me what you get, or do you want to use that roll for your party app? It's up to you guys.
I personally like roll for your party because I like to kind of celebrate when other people roll well, but I'm open.
I haven't used it, so is it easy to use?
No, you need to code in Perl.
Well, you're Perl.
No, so yeah, I guess it's okay and easy. I just opened up a new room, terminally arriving sheep. I just linked it for you guys. All you have to do.
Do I need to look at anything, or does it? How's it work?
If you want to see if we're lying.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to trust you guys. We'll see.
Okay.
Right. Don't abuse it.
I just rolled another 16. Come on.
Nothing but boxcars all night. I'm going to get suspicious.
Okay, so rolling plus int for this, correct?
That's correct.
All right. 2d6 plus int.
Is anybody helping you?
That's a good question. Ooh, I'm having.
Help you? I don't know. Or would you take their help? That's another question.
On this, probably not. I think I can't think of anyone who. You know, I would take help from Pearl, but mostly because I just see Pearl as a robot and not, you know, kind of a tool almost.
Okay.
I think is Colin's perspective.
You're a tool. No, okay, I'll help.
That's actually pretty.
You want to help? All right. So what's going to happen is you're going to use the aid move. So with aid, what it does is it just provides a blanket bonus. So let's see, does Pearl have a standard relationship with?
With Cullen, I do have a standard relationship.
Okay.
Oh, no, Cullen have the special relationship. He needs me to watch their back.
+2. Ooh. So you give me a +2 to this.
Okay.
Now, the downside to aiding is if he gets a partial success or a failure, you're also going to share in whatever happens.
I would anyway. Out of the
Oh,
goodness
That's the
of
downside.
my
You don't
mechanical
always want to aid people. Sometimes you'd be like, yeah, I don't know about this. So,
all right. Well, I got a, let's see, that's a
all right.
4 plus, I got a 5 because I got a +1 with my int. And if you give me a +2, then we're at a 7.
Yay! You avoided a failure. That's good.
Just
I
barely.
am a useful tool.
All right. So, what happens on a partial success?
Let's see. That says on any success, you create the device. It works for no longer than the end of the next scene. On a partial success, the GM will give you another requirement. Once this has been fulfilled, the device is created, or the device is created.
Okay. So what I'll say is that it sort of version of it. So when someone goes to use this, they're going to have to roll plus their int.
Okay.
So that'll just be a roll associated with using it. Otherwise, it works just like you described.
All right. Perfect.
Oh, and you're giving this to who are you giving this to?
I am giving this specifically to Corbin, and I think it's one of those things as we're getting ready for the mission. I'll be like, shirt off. I need to attach a medical device, and I'm just very brusque about it. And I kind of attach this, and I'm kind of mumbling under my breath, "We can't, have one of our precious psychics die on us, can we?" And that's yeah.
So what does Corbin think about this?
Yeah, how is it attached exactly?
It's just kind of strapped right around your chest. I mean, if you imagine like basically like a heart rate monitor type strap, that's kind of all I'm going for. Just something very simple there. It's probably got like an auto injector, in the thing.
Oh God.
So you get hurt, button here, smash this button, you'll be good. That's all I tell you.
Well, do you know the benefits of meditation could also help? I'll take this for now, I suppose.
I just look at you and then walk away. I don't even respond to that one.
Quick, let's talk about relationships. So we've potentially triggered some relationships here. So what about, does Cullen or Pearl or Corbett have any relationships to the stuff we just did?
I was kind of setting that up, but I don't know if I'd call that a full trigger on that.
Okay.
Of the
We're setting the foundation up. That's good.
Yes, for mine actually. I think mine is I must keep Corbin in tip-top shape, and that is my special relationship.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sure. Sense. So all right, go ahead and mark an XP for that then for Cullen. Okay. What about Pearl? Did you have anything with helping?
Well, Cullen needs me to watch their back. That was my special relationship. So
he wasn't particularly in danger though.
Yeah, but I helped him by like reaching over and hitting a couple extra buttons.
Well, he would have failed without you, which means something bad would have happened. So, okay, that sounds fair.
Yes.
Right, so give yourself an XP for that. All right,
litigating for an experience point.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so let's move on to real quick, Corbin. So you've had, before they strapped you with this thing, what were you doing to prepare?
Yeah, so usually I have my my crest jewel just right in my staff, kind of powering my staff, but I think I'm gonna try to just detach it so it's floating around me, and maybe try to reach out, definitely meditating in this solitary room in the ship, and try to reach out with my mind, hopefully see if I can pick up anything. If I'm targeting, I think I'd try to find stuff on Sedelin, the guy's brother.
Okay, the smuggler. You're trying to reach out using your psychic abilities to try to figure out something about him?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So why don't we do this? Why don't I have you trigger the analyze move? We'll let you ask questions if you're successful about your situation.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you get a bonus from your jewel for this. Is that right?
Yeah, I was aiming for that. I will admit.
That's what I like.
All right, let's see. So, can I have
wisdom, I hope.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh man, even with my +3, it's not enough. I got a 6, it looks like.
Okay. All right. So you reach out with your psychic powers, and they're pretty meager. I mean, you're used to using your powers to bolster your combat ability, so this is something you're not used to doing. So you reach out, and malevolent psychic energy coming from the planet, and it notices you reaching out, and then you immediately stop because you're like, oh, this is bad. So no. So you've triggered something down there, pinged you back. I was like, hi.
Mhm.
So you don't know what it is, but someone down there is now aware that you're here.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I feel because he's so new too, Corbin is just gonna be like, well, don't need to tell anyone else about that.
That's probably a good idea. So, but you do know that someone down on the planet is a Psi. So, and they are aware of you to some extent. So, keep that in your back pocket. All right, and let's go to Rue. What would Rue be doing during this preparation period?
So definitely researching. I think I'm interested in the war that you were talking about. Because I think would be a big part of this, right? Like the information peddler would be peddling to different people in the war, and
Sure. So what you would know is that the war between the Maskai and the Terran Alliance ended about. So they have a tenuous peace right now between them. But as I mentioned, this star system is located in a sector that's between the two. There's people from both sides are going to be here. It's tension, because the war could start again at any moment. There is a lot of space junk from old battles in the system, and Rue would know that there are scavengers who are stuff that they can salvage. So there's a lot of folks doing that in the system, and then they'd come to some place like Atos to sell it, or take it somewhere else to sell it. So in terms of the war itself, I mean, there's probably some spying going on both sides, like trying to figure out what each side's doing. Some of it might be happening here, so that's a possibility. That's probably what you would know without digging into it any further.
okay. Can I dig into it further? Like try to find
Sure.
specific...
So you have a move called Gather Information that allows you to use your criminal contacts to find out more specific stuff, which you could certainly trigger if you want.
All right.
So that move, go ahead and read that move. It basically, I think you have to say what it is you're aiming for, and then you roll.
So it's details of an ongoing scheme, behavior or inner workings, and truth behind a closely guarded secret. So I think I'll look for like ongoing schemes.
Okay, related to who?
I'll do Rohan, like this.
Okay, sure.
Robot. That seems like a scheme waiting to happen.
Totally. Yep. That sounds legit. Let's do that.
And then roll plus charisma.
Yes.
So roll for your party. And my charisma is... Where's my charisma? I think it was 0.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 0.
All right.
2d6. I got 2 6s, so it's a 12.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
That worked out. So what happens
roll.
on a complete success on that move?
Complete success, you learn exactly what you need to know. The GM must reveal what this is, and you take +1 forward when acting on the information.
Okay. So your contacts in the Condorian Miners Guild. So we'll say you have a contact or two there. And the Condorian Miners Guild is pretty much a criminal enterprise. They exact a big... what do you call it? Not a fee. What do they call it? The dues from their members, and they're kind of bad dudes. They're trying to throw their weight around and kind of push out some of the other guilds. And so there's another mining guild that is the Antaran Miners Guild that is also operating in this system, and they have been particularly vocal about the Condorians and their ways, and saying we should bring Star Patrol in here and get rid of these guys because they're just a bunch of crooks. So Rohan has been dispatched recently, within the last couple of days, to go find the head of the Antaran Mining Guild and rub them out. According to your contacts, Rohan would be on his way to this large asteroid where the Antarans are based. We'll say the asteroid is, I don't know, Sirin 126. So that's what you find out.
Then I think I'll try to communicate with others using my psionics, like test the stuff out. So I'll try to like relay the information.
You have psionics too?
I thought we discussed. No, I guess not.
Oh,
yeah, you could.
You and I share a psychic link.
Oh yeah, but that's just between the two of you. That's just like a little, yeah.
Okay, but I'll test that. So I'll relay.
But I will say, when you advance, you could pick
Hold.
up psionic moves if you want. You can
Okay.
totally do that, because you can take moves from other playbooks. So you could take moves from the side playbook if you really want to. That's totally fine. That's a good way to justify it too. It's like, well, I have this little thing with him, and then later on you develop more. That's totally fine. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, so that's what you guys are doing before this, before you head out. So you guys get back together, and you're getting ready to head down to the planet. And Colonel Cade rushes to you as you're getting ready to head out. And he says, hey, we just spotted some of what we think are Brand starfighters flying around this planet down below. And we want to see if you can either chase them or find out what they're doing, where they're going. So they are going to give you each, they're going to give you each these things called sky cycles, which are like flying motorcycles. And you're going to fly them down to the planet and figure out what these fighters are doing. Is that cool?
Did you say sky cycles?
Yes. Sky cycles, correct.
That is pretty cool.
So these are flying motorcycles. So they're atmospheric only. So what's going to happen is you guys are going to drop out of the initiative and fly into the atmosphere and chase these fighters down. Okay? So I'm going to give you the stats for these things. And I'm going to put them in the chat so you guys, because you guys will need the stats. And yeah, we'll have a little bit of flying stuff. All right, so there's the sky cycle. There's the relevant stats that you'll need. So in the game, when you do stuff in a vehicle, there are basic vessel moves that are on the second page of the moves. And you'll be using the vehicle's stats for those moves rather than your own stats. Unless some of the playbooks have ways to override that, but the default state is that you'll use the vehicle stats for things. So yeah, so let's check this out. So you're each going to get your own sky cycle. So there's going to be 4 of you down there. And so yeah, so he said that there's a group of fighters that they're pretty sure are associated with Garcanius Brand, and they want you to find out what they're up to. All right. Yes. All right. So I'm going to give you guys the first milestone. I'm going to put it in the chat. The milestone will be, let's see, right word for this. Let's see. Let's see how it works. Basically, I'm going to say stop the starfighters. Okay, so I'm introducing a milestone. So when I do that, you guys will now pick 2 of your drives, and then you'll have these until there's a new milestone. And so go ahead and let me know what those are going to be, just so that we all know. And then you'll be able to trigger those for XP just like you did with your relationships. Do we have any for Pearl?
I am going to choose protect someone from imminent danger.
Okay.
I'd like to prove my innate superiority to biologicals.
Okay. Cool. Oh, and you guys, except for Pearl, are going to get these atmospheric suits, because you're going to be in like really high like wind and stuff like that. So you'll have they're kind of like mini spacesuits, but they're streamlined so that they're cool looking. All right. All right. So how about our scientists? What drives do you think for Colin?
Yeah. So I think I've picked, at least for the moment, for this, bring someone or something back from the brink of death or destruction. So basic protective medic stuff, and then also take a valuable commodity for your future use. I can imagine with these starfighters, if something happens and we're dealing with them, if there's any way to salvage anything off of it, I could imagine pocketing something valuable.
And it could be information. It just says something, right? So
yep.
Yeah, cool. All right. What about our side? What about Corbin? What do you think?
I think the most logical ones are defeat a force of superior numbers or firepower, and demonstrate your power to those who doubt you.
Okay, great. Okay, and then last but not least, Rue. What drives do you think?
I think I said these already, but get someone else out of danger using skill and guile, and explore seedy and dangerous place.
Okay, where you can change those each time there's a new milestone. So you can pick
feel
different
these
ones if you want. Okay, that's fine. Okay, one minor change on the stats. So there's a stat that says VIT or vitality. That's for characters, obviously. So that should be hull for you guys for a vehicle. So anyway, same number, just it's called something else in the rules. Anyway, okay, cool. All right, so you guys are assuming you don't have any last minute stuff you want to do. Peace. Right. You're launched out of the initiative in these sky cycles and hurtled down towards Electra 2. Now, you were given very basic coordinates of where these starfighters were last seen, but these are very fast-moving ships, so you'll need to figure out how to find them. So anybody can chime in. What do you want to do?
I'm sorry, but just so numbers, how many starfighters and what's the nearest, what's this ground like near us? Like, are they in canyons?
So this is a rocky planet. Okay. Yeah, this is a rocky planet. It is, we'll say mostly desert. So a lot of rock, mountains, sand dunes, stuff like that. And stuff like that. On somewhat close to this Atos colony. I'd say the area around Atos is probably pretty flat, but there's a lot of mountains, kind of a horseshoe canyon near it. So there was two starfighters that were spotted. Small ships. They're bigger than your sky cycles, but they're like starfighters, so they're smaller starships. Yeah, so that's what you know about that.
We probably came down like bats out of hell, right? There's no like follow them thing. We're just gonna try to
get to find them first. Yeah, so they're moving around. You don't know exactly where. Like they tell you where they were last spotted. That's where they dropped you off. But you'll have to figure out. Like you can use your sensors on your sky cycle to try to find them, or do something else. Okay, I'm using your sensors.
All right. And if my oculars don't work, I'll go for sensors. So,
all right. So there is a basic vessel move called sensor scan.
Sensor scan. Okay, let me find this. Sorry, it's like 30 pages.
You guys can also use your regular moves too while you're in a ship. These are just additional things you can do while you're on the ship. So if you want to just understand or whatever, you can totally do that too.
Sensor scan. You scan something. Roll plus sensors. That makes so much sense. It hurts. I am not going to use the sensors because it's a -1.
Sensors on your sky cycles are not the best, as you can imagine. But you could do something else if you want. You could just.
You said I can just not understand, but like, could I analyze? No.
Yes.
Okay, analyze. Yeah. Okay. I'll roll plus whiz.
Yes.
My whiz settle, so I will roll as I want to do 2d6 in pips on here. It is a 5. I've failed. I don't get
Oh,
XP.
no.
A failure.
Unfortunately.
So it just
All right.
sucks.
So,
It
yeah.
just
So
sucks.
you're looking around with your regular robot sensors, and you guys are kind of moving around just on your sky cycles. They're looking different places, and yeah. So you do see some starfighters. They could be the ones you're looking for. In fact, they're heading in your direction, and they are firing up their weapons like they're going to shoot at you. So they're targeting your sky cycle there, Pearl. You're in danger, which means you can either avoid them using the evasive action move, or you could shoot back at them, or you could
I'm shooting.
take it like
I'm superior to these biologicals.
Yeah.
I will shoot them with laser cannons.
All right, so your sky cycle has like some guns on it, and so yeah, you can totally shoot them. So there's a fire at will move, which you can use.
Awesome. Fire at will, not shoot, but fire at will. Is that the
Yeah, the
vehicle
vessel move
version?
is called. Yeah, there's a slightly different version for the vehicles.
I'm looking for it.
You find the vessel
Sorry.
moves?
Basic vessel moves. Yes, fire at will. One of them is named Will, and I will shoot at them. Roll
All right, sounds
plus
good.
weapon, and I did actually copy down your stats that you gave. It's flat. Dang it, these cycles are kind of shitty.
They're very fast though. They have a +2 speed, so they're very fast.
That doesn't help me right now.
I know.
I've rolled an 8.
All right, so you got a partial.
Yes, I get a
So what happens
partial
on
when I
a-
fire at will. Your vessel is exposed to the attack as well. If your weapon has ammo or recharge tags, mark 1.
All right, so you don't have to worry about that. Your weapons don't have those, so you just shoot away. So you're going to roll the damage for your sky cycle, which is a d6.
Well, that sucks. I could shoot them with my matter cannon and do a better job than that. Awesome.
Well, except that, no.
No, it's near. It doesn't have the right range. I rolled 4 damage.
Well, not only that, yeah. All right. So you do get past their shields, do a little bit of damage to one of the fighters, so that's good. And then they're going to shoot back at you for also a d6.
Yay. Should I roll that?
Yes, I don't roll dice, so it's all on you. You get to roll your own
All right.
damage.
I'm going to accidentally roll a d3. I'm joking. I wouldn't cheat. I rolled 6.
Okay, so you have shields of 1, so that reduces it to 5, and then you take 5 hull out of your 8.
Yeah. That's
Kaboom!
Ouch.
So what happens to your poor sky cycle is you get peppered with laser blasts.
I think that the sky cycle is. I'm imagining speeder bike because I don't really have any other.
Essentially, sure.
Okay, cool. So I think that it's got twin engines on the back, and one of them's completely out.
Yeah.
It's shooting sparks, and yeah, it's not good. So it
Sure.
wobbles quite a bit, and she nearly gets thrown down into the desert floor. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, cool. Did you have a drive related to shooting stuff? I can't remember if you do or not.
I have a drive on protecting someone from imminent danger and proving my innate superiority to biologicals. Neither
Okay.
of which do I think I
Not
just
yet.
did.
Okay. All right. So you guys have all now spotted these starfighters. They're, you guys are all somewhat nearby where these guys are. So who else wants to take a shot at doing something about this?
I think Corbin might come up to bat. I think I'm gonna try to just take a moment, much like someone from history. I forget who it was, trying to focus and hit like a trance or something,
Perhaps.
and maybe
yes.
go into a combat trance.
That's a long time ago. Yes.
All right, so first I'm going to try to use that. This is my Psionic Warrior
Okay.
damage. If I roll this well. Okay. Oh, I should clear this room. So that's my blue dice showed 9. So I think I get it. Oh, so that means I don't have to spend a reserve. I got a 10 plus.
Okay.
So I'll add 1d4 to the damage for the scene at least.
It's until
And
you miss, I think. Is
with
that right?
Yeah, until I miss or the scene ends.
Okay, great. Okay.
And I think with that added confidence, Corbin's just going to open fire.
Sure, do it. So you're going to use the fire at will move that Pearl used.
I'm going to clear these real fast.
Okay.
And oh, yeah, very nice. 11.
Okay. Great. So on a complete success on fire at will, what happens?
I add +1 d6 to the damage. And
If you want
expose
to.
missile to them. Oh, I see.
It's optional, but if you do that, you'll take their damage too.
Hmm.
But you'll do a lot of damage because you'll be doing 2d6 plus a d4.
It's true. You know what? After Pearl went down, I gotta make this quick. I'm gonna do it.
All right, so you're going to shoot the same one she shot at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. So roll it.
Go.
Should be 2d6 and a d4.
Oh, I should clear that first. But all right, yeah, I think I got it. So that is 9, 12. Looks like.
Wow. All right. So yeah, you totally blow up this fighter. So what do you do to this thing?
Yeah. So let's see. I think maybe Corbin in this sky cycle, just as soon as smoking sky like Pearl smoking thing starts going down, just goes right into action. It just maybe shoots like like a surgical strike right against the back into the engine of this fighter.
Okay. Do you like close your eyes and envision like where to shoot this thing precisely?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So while you're doing that, because you took the extra die, means you exposed to their attack. So what happens is the other fighter, so you've blown up this one fire, the other one strafes your sky cycle, like while you're not looking, because you got your eyes closed and you're focused on this thing. So it's gonna hit you for d6 damage.
That gives me 4. So minus 1, I assume, right?
Right. So you take 3 off of your hull, so you should be down to 5 hull on your ship. All right, so your sky cycle takes a little bit of a hit, but you're still kicking. All right, so you guys still have one fighter to deal with. How about our scientists? What do you think about being on this sky cycle?
I'm pretty much hating this, and I think up until now I've been hanging back, but now I see that Corbin is taking some like punishment at this point, and I just kind of I was ordered to make sure that Corbin lives through these missions, so I just kind of grit my teeth, say damn it, and I go in and I go head first at this thing and just fire at will.
Okay, do it.
All right, so that's roll plus weapon. Weapon is 0, so rolling 2d6. Nice. Okay, so I got a 9. It looks like. Yeah, because
it has a weapon stat of 0.
Weapon and staff is 0. Yeah. Okay. So it's so I got a 9.
Okay, so that's a partial success. Partial. Yep.
All right. So a partial vessel expose their attack. If your weapon is all right. All right. Perfect. So I roll damage here, which is 1d6.
1d6 for the sky cycle. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll this one of these yellow guys here. Reroll, and I got a 2.
Okay, so you do damage it a little bit. It kind of brings things off their shields for the most part, but so you do that. Now, as you're doing that, this thing like does a kind of a 180 and turns around and shoots back at you. So you're going to take a d6 from the starfighter.
And immediately Cullen is regretting sticking his neck out here for anyone. All right, re-rolling. That is a 4.
Okay, so you have 1 shield, so you take 3 off your ship's hull.
Ouch.
So you're
Okay.
also down to 5. Okay, so ships are getting a little damaged here. You've dinged this last starfighter here. All right, how about our Jack? What does Rue think about all this?
I think I'll get into the fight, like start firing also, right?
Cool. I mean, if you want, you can. Now you can do something else if you can think of it. I'm not, whatever you guys want to do.
Well, they've already, like, I would usually be stealthy, but I think they've already seen us and are attacking.
They've
right?
seen you, yes. Now you could personally try to get away and do something else if you want to. I mean, the starfighter's kind of tied up with these other 3 at this point. So if you want to, you have an opportunity to go. If you want to, I'm just saying.
But there's only one starfighter left.
Right. Well, as far as you know.
Okay. Can I like attack them while I'm moving away?
Sure. I mean, the distance and stuff is abstract, so sure, why not?
Okay. Or maybe. If they're, can we like trace where they were coming from?
You could try to do that. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. You could use the sensors on the sky cycle to do that.
Okay, I think I'll try that.
Okay, so there's a move called sensor scan, which is one of the basic vessel moves.
Okay, vessel moves. So roll plus sense.
Yep. So sensors on the sky cycle is a -1. They're not the best, unfortunately.
Okay. But I just need some success.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try this. Boop, boop, boop. I got 8.
An 8. Okay. So you got a partial success. So what happens with sensor scan?
So I choose one. An interesting thing about the enemies, environment, hazards, or secrets. So about the enemies, like who these people are, right?
It's up to you. Whichever one you want to pick. You get one of those.
Yeah, I'll do the enemies.
Okay. All right. So these starfighters are completely unmarked, which is totally normal for a gangster like Arcanius Brand. He's not going to want to advertise who his fighters are. Notice that the one that you guys are currently targeting, you don't know anything about the other one because it's pretty much crashed at this point, but the one that you guys are still dealing with, it looks like it's been recently repaired, like maybe it was in a scrap before this, and maybe it was repaired somewhere. So you see some like evidence of recent, things that have been soldered on the outside of it and things that have been recently repaired with obvious things. So something to keep in mind. But no, they definitely seem like they're unmarked, like I said, which is pretty much pirate gangster territory. So okay, so you've got that info. What else? Who else wants to do something? You want to go back to Pearl?
Yeah, I think Pearl's ready to do stuff unless somebody's got an idea. Do you have something you want?
Well, the other one's crash landed, right? Like I would want to go see who's recycling these then.
I mean, you could fly down to the crashed one if you want.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so we'll say you're doing that. Cool. Okay. So you guys still have this one live starfighter to deal with.
I think I'm going to deal with it.
Deal with it.
I want to try to get close enough to use my matter gun because these dinky lasers are not great.
Now, I will tell you one thing. Character scale weapons do 1/4 damage against vehicles.
I didn't know that, so
you didn't. Now you know.
Lasers are doing just fine. Pearl knew, so Pearl knows
definitely. Pearl's like, you might be able to get through their shields and do like a point of damage, but that's about it.
It would be kind of not a good choice. So I will continue to use the dinky lasers that are 4 times better than my matter gun.
Correct. Yes.
Cool. I'm going to fire at will, and that is at a +0. So I'm gonna.
No. And the great news is, when you get hit by a vehicle weapon, it does 4 times damage to you.
We're going to need to talk about your definition of great.
I have had that happen in the game, by the way.
That is an 8, which means we're swapping damage again. That is not sweet.
I had someone get hit by a starship one time in a game. That was fun time.
Hit by a starship. All right, I rolled damage for them, which was a 2. Oh, we need to turn off the sort dice. That's why everything gets moved around like that.
Ah, okay.
And then my dice, which hold on, reroll selected. I did 3 points.
Okay.
3 points to them, 2 points to me. The 2 points to me means I'm down to 1 point of hull. I think I'm going to try.
No, you have shields, right? So you're.
Oh, yes, I
You should
do.
have 2. Yeah, you have 2 hull
Points.
left. All right. Very important. You thought you did.
Did.
So yeah, all right. So you damaged the wing of this starfighter, and it looks like after he shoots back at you, it looks like he's probably had enough of this, and he's trying to get away. So what's
Not on my watch.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about that?
Now that Pearl's set this up, I think I'm gonna try to follow through. I'm gonna
Do it.
open fire again.
All right. Now I would say your sky cycles are actually faster than this starfighter, so he's really not gonna probably get away from you, but he's trying to.
Oh, all right. Wasn't a great idea.
No.
I got a 5 total.
You got a 5. Okay. So you're chasing this you're chasing him on your sky cycle, this fighter, and he launches this material back at you. So he doesn't shoot back at you, but what he does, he launches this gooey material that's meant to screw with people's sensors and stuff like that, and it totally covers your sky cycle and you. Because if you, it's like literally like a motorcycle with like a shield on it. So it's just this goop all over you now, and it's making it hard for you to see. So you're now in danger of crashing unless you do something about this, because your instruments are now all jacked up and you can't barely see. And so yeah, you guys all see this happening. Well, right. with the exception of Rue, who's not paying attention, but the rest of you see this happening.
Well,
so you this is not great. This fighter is trying to go into orbit. If he goes into space, you guys can't chase him. So he's trying to do that, or you could help Corbin. What do you think? How about Colin? Yeah, Colin, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I have to step in and try and help here, because I can't let Corbin get kind of blown out of the sky or die in this. So I can use, you said, basic moves and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
So I could potentially use defend here to kind of like. So what is happening with Corbin's ship at this point? Is it a sky cycle?
So is it like? Yeah. So he got covered in the fighter ejected this goop onto his ship that's meant to defeat sensors and stuff like that to keep people from pursuing him. And because he's in kind of an open air vehicle, he's also covered in this gunk. And so he can't see real well, and his sensors are all messed up on his. So navigation wise, he's just struggling. So he's in danger of crashing.
Okay.
I could suggest something really crazy that you could try. You want me to suggest something?
Sure. I was already thinking crazy, but I'd love to hear your suggestion.
Well, let's hear what your crazy is first. I think you should say.
So I see this his sky cycle kind of going out of control here. I imagine using defend here in a way where I'm like, I think these sky cycles might have maybe a little projectile tow cable kind of thing that I could shoot out of the side and kind of try and basically steer mine and his at the same time, drive in front, be able to use it, kind of shoots off the back of this thing, attaches to the front of his, and I try and actually steer us to the ground, controlling both while his is kind of out of control.
Okay. So, all right. So mechanically, what I'll have you do is use the aid move here. So you're going to help him, and he's going to defy danger to get out of this. Does that sound cool?
That's perfect.
Okay. So you do that. So I'll tell you what my crazy idea was for you, just to get him off his cycle and onto yours. So you'd cycle next to him, and then he'd jump on yours. But that's cool.
Okay. These are open. These are open air.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that sounds like a great idea. So you shoot your little tow cable at his sky cycle. And so now you're aiding him, right? So what you're going to do, Corbin, is you're going to defy danger. I'm going to have you defy danger using the ship's speed, which is +2. And you'll get a +1 from Colin aiding you. How about that?
+2, actually. He's my special relationship and keeping him in
Oh,
tip-top
beautiful.
condition.
There you go. So that's a
Yeah, you
+4.
You get a +2 from me.
Wow. Yeah. So unless you roll box cards, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Very
All
good.
right. You successfully do it. So, so one of the things that you'll need to do. So if Corbin wants to continue to ride this cycle, you're going to have to get this goop off of it. So he's safe for the moment. However, to get the goop off of it, Colin realizes, well, if you go like really fast, it'll probably just the wind resistance will probably shear it off of the vehicle altogether. So if you want to give that a try, you can completely get that stuff off his vehicle, and it'll be perfectly serviceable. You want to try that?
You're talking by towing him extra fast and stuff, just trying to get the wind shear off there?
Really just him. I mean, you're not covered in the goop, so you don't really have to help him at this point, but you could tell him, hey, this is something you could try to get off your vehicle.
Right.
Or he could just live with it. It's up to him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
just
know.
slingshot.
So you're basically he's gonna have to push the engine to its limits to do this.
Oh yeah. Do we have communicators? Can we talk
You want to do it?
amongst ourselves?
Yes, totally. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Corbin is definitely okay with that.
So you want to do it?
I think
On the engines? All right. So I'm going to have you use the evasive action move, which is one of the basic vessel moves that uses the ship's speed. Meaning that if you do this wrong, you'll crash into a mountainside or something. Or potentially.
That should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that the doctor rolling or me?
No, you're rolling. He's done helping you at this point, so it's just all you.
Even better. So let's see. I'm doing speed, right?
Yeah, you're doing evasive action, which uses the vehicle speed, which is +2.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha. Oh well, 10 already. So.
Okay, beautiful. All right. So you gun the engine as fast as it'll go, maybe a little faster, kind of redlining it, and it eventually this goop starts coming off, kind of just sliding off of your vehicle, and eventually it's all gone and you're good. You've got some of it on your clothes and your hair and stuff. Well, I guess you probably have a helmet on, but other than that, you're good. So he's off, but you're now, when you're done with that, you're pretty far away from everybody else. You'll need some time to come back. So let's skip down real quick to Rue. So Rue, you have located the crash of this other starfighter. So what do you want to do? Are you with us? All right, sounds like he may have stepped away for a moment. All right, let's go back to the other two. So Cullen and Pearl, you've still got this starfighter that's trying to get away from you guys. What do you want to do?
How damaged is that starfighter? I hit it for some damage, but
Not as damaged as your sky cycle.
Listen,
it's taken probably half of its damage, so just roughly. So it could take probably, depending on how well you roll, 1 or 2 more hits.
How is vehicle like mounting a starfighter? How does that go?
You mean like landing on it?
Well, yeah, landing on it, jumping onto it. It's not like I'm taking the sky cycle anywhere.
You could totally do that. Sure, why not?
Okay, I'll do that thing. I want to jump off of my cycle. I'll just try to pull up and above, using my teammate to kind of keep it distracted, and I'm going to dive through the air and try to jump on top of it.
Okay, so the only other person who can help you right now is Cullen, because the other two are kind of busy doing stuff. So Cullen, are you going to help Pearl in this effort?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty tough right now after just kind of helping out Corbin. Kind of basically keeping him from crashing with all that goop on him. So yeah, I think I'm kind of going after this starfighter along with Pearl, and I think we're doing it kind of tandem, kind of coming at it like almost kind of pincer move kind of thing.
Cool. So all right. So again, I think we'll do this using aid. This makes the most sense here. So you're going to aid Pearl. So Pearl, I'm going to have you do defy danger using Dex to land on this moving starfighter, and you're going to get a regular relationship with Pearl?
It's
Colin?
regular.
Yeah, just one, just plus one.
Okay. +1 from Pearl or from
Did
Colin?
you say with Dex? Just double check.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Defy danger with
Yes.
Dex, which means I get a +2 on my roll. Because
Excellent.
+1 from the Dex, +1 from the aid. And I'm going to
Okay.
roll.
Yeah.
I just roll boxcars, sucker.
Uh,
Boxcars.
All right.
First, I'm screenshotting it.
All right. So you have successfully ditched your sky cycle. It is now somewhere flying off. And you have landed on the starfighter. All right. This is pretty impressive. Now what?
I'll scream, although I don't think you can hear me. I'd like to see your license and registration.
All right. Colin, what do you think about this escapade?
My jaw is basically on the floor at the moment, watching this craziness, and I think my only response is to just kind of like continue to tail this thing and maybe even get kind of underneath in case something goes terribly wrong, so that Pearl can jump down at me if need be. But I'm just kind of like blown away that this thing's even happening.
Great. We'll see how that works. All right. So Pearl, you are standing on this starfighter that is attempting to fly into space.
Oh,
now what
yeah.
do you do?
I would like to. I've got my matter gun, so I'll pop out my matter gun. I'm going to try to threaten the pilot. Like, I will shoot you in the face with this matter gun.
He gives you the finger.
I will shoot him in the face.
All right. Go for it.
Awesome. Is this a shoot?
I'm trying to think if. Well, okay. So, yeah. Go ahead and roll shoot.
Okay.
I mean, there's lots of inherent danger going on here, so I think we're good.
Yeah, it's all kinds of danger. I'll roll plus Dex.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to roll nearly as well as before, but that's okay. And I've rolled a 9.
Okay.
On
So
a partial success, I will move to get the shot. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that. I don't have much range right now. So I'll just fire several shots. Fire several shots and mark 1 ammo.
Okay. So I believe your matter gun has 3 ammo. Is that right?
It does.
Okay. So you're going to mark one of those and then roll your damage.
And this is the one where it's going to be like, I don't know. You tell me. I'll just roll the damage.
Yeah, it's going to be divided by 4. So roll real good.
I'm not going to roll real good just to defy you.
You don't have to.
I'm going to roll terrible. You just listen to me. I roll a 3.
Yeah, so it pretty much bounces off the shields and it just kind
awesome.
Now he gives you the double bird as he's heading into orbit.
Sweet. I don't need air.
Yeah, that's true. You don't. All right. So let's go back now that Rue is back with us. Why don't we? So Rue, you have found this crash of the starfighter. What do you want to do?
I think it would be like secretly follow the parts, right? Like I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with these things.
Okay. So do you want to land your sky cycle and kind of venture out and see this? Take a look at this wreckage. Is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, like. But maybe from a distance. So, right, like I want to figure out what these people do with it.
Okay. I mean, you can just kind of circle around. You don't have to land. You can just kind of slowly circle around the wreckage and see if you can figure out what's happening. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to? You could roll like maybe the analyze move. That would kind of make sense. You can ask questions about the situation.
Okay. So analyze is I'm still on the ship moves. Wisdom.
Wisdom.
I don't think I have much wisdom though. Yeah, -1.
Ooh.
It's 2d6. There are a bunch of dice. I think that's 9. -1 is 8.
Okay, well that's still a partial success. So on a partial on that move, you get to ask 1 question from the list.
All right. So what here is not what it appears to be?
Okay. You notice that there is something blinking on the outside of the starfighter near the tail. That is not. You're not sure exactly what it is, but it's definitely not a standard part that you would see on a starfighter.
Hmm. So it sounds
You
like
also do not see a pilot, at least not a human pilot or a biological pilot.
that's very interesting. Yeah.
So either they bailed out, or there isn't one, or something weird's going on. So you take +1 forward if you want to act on that information. So think about that, and we'll come back to you. All right, Corbin, you have now got the goop off of your sky cycle, and you avoided hitting the nearest mountain range, and you're now headed back towards the others. What do you want to do? You see Pearl is standing on top of the other starfighter, and Cullen is sidled underneath it, kind of like, what is going on here? So what do you think about this?
Yeah, it does make things a little more difficult, but and this is going out of atmosphere, right?
It's trying to, yeah. Once it leaves the atmosphere, your sky cycles won't be able to chase it. So you've got to do something quickly before it leaves, and take Pearl with it.
I don't know if this aligns with a move, but I think what I'm going to try to do is kind of get, I guess, above it, so we're kind of flanking it to kind of block it from going up farther.
Okay. Why don't we use the evasive action move for that? That makes the most sense. The danger being that it'll ram you or something and hurt you.
Oh no. All right, so that's another speed, right?
Or it'll use you to scrape Pearl off.
Oh no.
That could be a danger.
I've got some bad news. I got a 6 there.
All right.
But could I be like, I guess since I'm already there as part of the bot, he's coming in from the top, I'm already at the bottom. Wouldn't I kind of default be aiding there? Just in his.
All right. Yeah, we can say, we can retroactively say you were aiding. So, okay, cool. So you got a partial success with the 7. So what happens on a partial on your evasive action?
So let's see. Avoid the danger, but you get to choose one actually.
I think I pick it, right?
Yeah, it's either my vessel takes damage, vessel draws unwanted attention, or the vessel is put in different danger.
So I think in this situation, what I'm going to do is this makes sense. Okay, so Pearl, somehow over the rush of wind, which is pretty intense at this point, you hear this beeping sound from behind you.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. Do you turn and?
Yeah, I'd like to see. What is that?
So there's this box that's kind of affixed to the tail of the starfighter, and there's a light on it that's beeping.
I'll rip it off.
Okay. Okay. That seems reasonable. So go ahead and roll Defy Danger using your strength.
Okay, I'll do that thing.
And the danger will become apparent here in a moment.
I've rolled an 8. Next.
Okay. So you think that this is some kind of bomb? And it's about to go off. So your choices are.
Yes.
Yeah. So your choices are to rip it off, and then it may explode in your hands. Or you can jump free of the ship and let it blow up on its own, but you'll need to land on something, or it'll be bad news bears for Pearl. Above you and a ship below you that are friendly.
Oh, so many choices.
I know.
Let me look at my
relationship. Or you just take this explosion.
Is Cullen beneath me? Is that the way it was?
And Corbin's above you, yeah. This is pretty crazy visual here.
I do like this much. I am going to dive towards Cullen's ship.
Okay, great. All right, so you're going to jump off. All right, so what happens is you guys have a moment to try to get away from this explosion. So let's see. All right, so Corbin, you can just get away because you're not doing anything with Pearl. So we'll say that you just get away. Basically the starfire is going to explode. So Pearl is going to need to jump onto Cullen's sky cycle. So in order for this to work, Cullen, you're going to have to stay close enough to this exploding starfighter for Pearl to jump onto your sky cycle. So you're going to, how do I want to do this? One of you guys roll Defy Danger. The other one can aid. So you guys can. It kind of makes sense either way. So I only want to have one roll. So
I've rolled a lot of
one of
dice,
you guys-
Jesse. If you want to roll some dice, you're welcome to.
I'll go for
Yeah.
it.
So well, Pearl will be aiding you. The danger is that if you don't do this, if you don't synchronize this right, your sky cycle is going to get hit by the explosion.
And
Okay,
and
it's-
you need me to watch your back, so you get +2.
Absolutely. Oh yes, nice. And is this would this be like Defy Danger Dex, or what are we looking at here?
Probably if you're going to do it for the ship, it'd be evasive action because you're trying to get away from this explosion.
Yeah, totally.
But we'll say that Pearl is warning you, but this thing's about to blow up.
All right, so I'm getting a +2 from Pearl, and I'm getting a +2 from our speed.
Nice.
So let's roll these and see what happens. Oh my! I rolled a 3, but +4 is a 7.
Yes. So you get a partial success. All right. So here's what happens. So Pearl lands on your sky cycle. Now Pearl's heavier than a normal person because she's made of metal. So kind of, there's a lot more weight on your sky cycle than it's used to. What happens is the stabilizers temporarily go out. The different danger that you're put in is now your ship is in danger of crashing. So the explosion also doesn't help either. So the explosion sort of partially hits your sky cycle. So you're being pushed down towards the ground at a great rate of speed.
Okay.
All right. You can use evasive action again or whatever you want to do, but that would probably make the most sense.
Yeah, I think it's evasive action again, but I think if anyone could actually hear what's happening, which I guess Pearl can, because Pearl's close enough, just like a constant stream of curses with like, I think stupid robot in there and blah blah blah. You just many other Anyway, okay, so here we go, rolling. So are you? All right, so no aid on this one, right?
No, I don't think she can aid you with this.
Makes sense. All right, so rolling 2d6 plus our speed.
Yep.
Yay! Okay, I got a 9 plus 2 is an 11. So.
All right. So right as you're hurtling towards the rocky ground below, you pull up at the last second and right yourself. And now you're actually speeding right towards the colony if you want to go that way. But you guys are now out of danger, with the exception of Rue. So Rue, you see, you're down there with this wreckage. There's this blinking light on this box on this crashed starfighter. What do you want to do about that?
I think I'll realize like everyone's gone, right?
You hear a bunch of shouting over the comm. You're not sure what's happening.
Well, they're definitely not in the sky anymore.
Yeah.
So I think I'll go to find them.
Okay. So you're gonna leave the starfighter here?
Yeah, because there aren't any people or anything, right?
Right.
So it could just all be automated, and I don't really want to deal with that.
Okay. So as you're flying away, it blows up. Oh, okay. So anyway, so you guys all get back together at some point. All right. So now what?
Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much, Cullen. I appreciate your assist. I'm glad to still be functioning.
Let's take a moment real quick and go back and mark any drives and relationships that we missed during all that excitement. So go ahead and look at your drive relationships, see if you triggered any of those, and go ahead and give yourself XP for that.
I think I did some protecting from people from imminent danger by shooting people that would have shot us.
Totally. Yep.
Debatable about proving my innate superiority to biologicals, except I did do something that none of them would try.
I would say if you'd gone into space on the back of that thing, totally. Because there's no way they would have been dead. So I think that's probably fair, though, because that was pretty scary. So what do you think? Yes? All right.
As many XP as it takes to level, I'm always going to think yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm willing to err on the side if you get an XP. Sure, why not? All right, what else? What about the rest of you guys?
I think I used Corbin as a distraction. Like they were all fighting while I...
That's legitimate. Sure, yeah, give yourself XP for that. Okay.
I don't know if it counted as a CD dangerous place.
Not yet, but that certainly seems like it's in the future. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Or you go for it.
Oh, I was going to say I can make the case that I got both my drives, but I don't think I got any relationships.
Okay. What drives did you?
Mine were defeat a force of superior numbers or firepower.
Firepower for sure, yeah.
And demonstrate your power to those who doubt you.
Did you do that? I don't know.
Oh, these starships surely didn't.
Well,
They
okay.
wouldn't have attacked me if they didn't doubt me, right?
All right, sure. Why not? All right. What about for Colin?
Yeah, so one of my relationships is I must keep Corbin in tip-top shape, and I helped out
Yep.
with the goo thing there, and then
Yep.
also says bring someone or something back from the brink of death or destruction, and I think that catch of Pearl
Yes.
counts there.
I would. Yes,
So-
totally. All right. And what
Cool.
about your relationships? Did you already? I think you already marked one of those, didn't you?
Yeah, one relationship there. I got the Corbin one, keeping Corbin in tip-top shape.
Okay. Great.
By doing
Okay.
that, I think those are the only two.
Okay. So you guys are now on 3 sky cycles, and what do you guys want to do now?
Don't worry about the sky cycle. The space patrol will not charge us back pay.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I have this tip off about the mining guild, right? So I think I would want to go check that out.
Okay. So are you guys staying on Electra 2 where you guys are now, or do you want to go back up to the initiative, or what are your immediate plans here at this point?
I think I'm going to take this opportunity to chastise Rue. I'll say, as you know, I'm combing the goop that's still stuck in my face fur out. Just say, Rue, you must understand. We have a telepathic link. It's my duty to protect you. If you go off like that, you just merely have to think about it, and I'll know where you are. Those starships, they blew up. We could have. I mean, Pearl almost was destroyed. I didn't know where you were. Just remember, you
Is this
only
a-
must think, and I'll defend you.
Okay.
Was that over the radios or psychically? Just curious.
Probably. Well, you guys are probably still all getting together, so yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, I'll probably say over the radios. Why not?
So what is your relationship with Rue?
Rue must better understand my powers.
Okay. Okay. So what does Rue think about this chastisement?
I don't think I was in danger. Like I would want Colin to tell me where they went. You know,
Okay.
like it
All
goes
right.
both ways.
So, like I said, you guys are planet side now. You can choose to go into the Atos colony and pursue possible leads there, or you could go back to the initiative and tell them what happened, or whatever you guys want to do. What do you think?
We should follow Rue's lead.
All right. So Rue does have information. So do you tell them what you found out?
I told Corbin at least because we have the or Colin because we have the link, right?
Corbin, yes. So
Okay.
Corbin knows about the 2 mining guilds that are kind of at odds with each other, and that the assassin robot was sent to go deal with the opposing guild leaders. And you know approximately where those people should be.
So, but I think I'll explain that to everyone else too.
Okay. Now that is far away from here. That's in an asteroid belt that's far, far away from where you are right now. So you can, like I said, you guys can go back to the initiative and give them a kind of a quick debrief on what's going on, or you can, like I said, you can choose to pursue leads here on the planet that you're on now.
Perhaps it makes sense to pursue any leads on this planet before we travel far away.
Okay. Are you guys all in agreement with that?
Well, I do think the other lead is time sensitive.
That's true.
So I would rather do that as soon as possible, especially if it's far away.
Sure. Oh, FYI, you guys, we resolved the milestone about stopping the starfighter, so everyone gets an XP for that.
Then, if it is time sensitive, we should not waste that opportunity. I don't mind the travel.
Okay. So you guys are agreed on this course of action? You guys are going to head to the asteroid. I don't remember what I called it, some number, but you know where it is. So if you choose to do that, the initiative will take you. Well, they'll give you that transport that I mentioned, and you can fly over there using that transport. And I'll give you the stats for that next time. We're probably going to wrap up here in a minute. So just good to have a direction for next time. And obviously that next time we'll have a full session of action. So that'll be good. Okay. So yeah, so let's do the end of session moves and talk about that. So give me just a sec to bring that stuff up. I didn't have it ready. I should have. Okay, so at the end of session, basically what we do is we're going to ask some questions about what happened, and then you guys will get XP for answering yes to these questions. So first one, did everyone trigger at least one drive? I think we should be good there. I'm pretty sure we did. Yes?
Pretty sure, yes.
Did Rue trigger a drive?
Yeah, I don't think so.
What were your drives?
Get someone out of danger and explore a seedy and dangerous place. I don't really do any of those.
Yep. All right.
Way to go off by yourself, Rue.
Oh, man. All right. But this is why you want to make sure that when you pick, remember, you can change your drives every time there's a milestone. So make sure that you guys are looking at things you think you're likely to be able to do with whatever the milestone is that we've got. So just keep that in mind. All right. Did everyone trigger at least one relationship?
Oh, no, I don't think I triggered one this time. Unless we count that, I must make Rue better understand my powers at the end.
Yeah, all right. We'll give you
That's
that
kind
one.
of a stretch.
Well, we'll give you that one. We'll give you that one. So give yourself an XP for that, and everyone gets one for the question. So next question. Did you survive despite incredible odds?
I'm going
I would say so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're in a pretty precarious position on the sky cycle. So we'll say yes to that. So everyone gets an XP for that. Did any of us undergo a transformation, physical, mental, or spiritual? Probably not. I don't think so. Any of us make a new ally or turn an enemy into a friend? I don't think we got that one. And then for each milestone that passed for good or ill, you get another XP. So we got the one done. So one more XP for everybody. Is anyone close to, so you get 9, gives you an advance. Is anyone close to 9?
I'm at 7.
Okay, that's not bad.
Also at 7.
Okay. How about the other two?
Also 7.
Oh, okay. And do we have a 4 of a kind?
I have 6.
All right. All right, well, that's not bad. I mean, we spent about 45 minutes or a little more than that doing character creation, so that's good. That's not bad at all. Okay. Cool. So we'll meet again in a week and continue the story. And like I said, I will post some information about the stuff I talked about tonight on the next event. So there'll be a link to probably my Google Drive with some documents, you guys, just to kind of remind you of the stuff we talked about, the associates that I mentioned, some stuff about the star system, just some of the basic stuff that I gave you. Anything before we stop recording?
No,
that was good.
Yeah, thanks a ton for running this.
Okay,
Thanks,
let's go ahead and stop recording.